To the April meeting of the North Miami Community, the CRA Advisory Board. Can we please begin with a roll call, please?
Ms. Cobo is excused. She said she wouldn't be able to make it. Ms. Cohen? I'm here. Mr. Each?
Present.
Ms. Estime Irvin?
Present.
Ms. Geimer?
Present.
Mr. McDermott?
Present?
Dr. Million?
Here.
Mr. Reynolds?
Here.
Mr. Sanchez?
Present.
Ms. Couch? Here. We have quorum, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. Can we begin with the Pledge of Allegiance, please? I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay.
Somebody get mad and take the things over here.
Can we have a motion to approve the March 5th minutes?
I so move.
Discussion? Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. We'd like to welcome a new board member to our panel, Ms. Inez Couch.
Yeah.
Well, I'm introducing you again.
Yeah. Well, I'm officially back, so this was my first time meeting Ms. Couch anyway.
You were gone.
So, yeah, it's for my benefit.
Yes.
There you go. Yes.
Sounds like okay, so anyway, can we have agenda item 1, please?
Yes, yes. Committee members, every year, as you know, we are required to go through a financial audit, and also we are required to complete the audit, present it to the committee and the board, and also transmit it to our funding entities, which is the City of North Miami, Miami-Dade County, and the state of Florida. And we're also required to do an annual report. This segment right now will be the presentation from the accountants from HTT, Certified Public Accountants and Consultants. They are the ones that conducted the financial audit, so they're going to give us a presentation of the audit and their findings.
Okay. Good morning. Or good evening, I should say.
Good evening, members of the board. First off, Mr. Harvey sends his regards. He wish he could have made it, but this time during tax season, his schedule's a little crazy, so he sends his regards. Is the PowerPoint coming up? Okay. My apologies on the logo. I got some old information, so I apologize for the old logo on the presentation. Again, today we're presenting the fiscal year 2017 report for the North Miami CRA. Here is kind of the agenda set forth today, listing the purpose of the CRA, going through the members, and then getting to the meat of the conversation, which is what's the financial state of the entity. Again, you're all part of the board, so you are very much aware of the purpose of the CRA. That's to eliminate the conditions of blight that exist within the city and helping improve the quality of life and revitalizing the city's physical and economical, educational, and social resources. Next couple of slides are just listing the members of the various boards. And now for the meat of the presentation. For the fiscal year 2017, we had an unqualified opinion, meaning the numbers, as we attest, fairly state in accordance with generally accepted accounting principles. Right here is just an overview of the comparison between 2017 fiscal year and 2016 fiscal year. You will see that you'll see that cash came in. You had more cash this year, but you were able to lower liabilities, which is a positive thing. The revenues and expenses for 2017, you will see that while revenues did decrease in this year, you did also have a lot more activity this year as well with the expenditures, which will help grow the base going forward for the tax incremental revenues. And right here is just a budgetary comparison for the fiscal year, and you'll see that although it did not come in what was expected for the revenues, you did also were able to decrease expenditures while still maintaining and being able to beautify the city surrounding. Now take a look at the management letter, which basically states what did we find that possibly the entity could better do going forward. For last year, there were none, and we're happy to report for this year we did not find any material weaknesses or significant deficiencies within the entity. So overall, everything is working well, and credit to the staff for doing such a great job having things in order. And right now, if there are any questions, comments, concerns, anything, turn it over to the board if there are any questions.
Any questions from anybody? Mm-hmm.
Thank you, and I'd like to acknowledge Ms. Margaret Miller, the Assistant Director of Finance. She's the one that actually works on our financials for the city. She's our CRA Finance Pro. Terry Henley was not able to make it because he had another engagement, but you know Terry's been with us since the reorganization.
Right.
So, but yes, thank you very much. It has been a team effort, and we're happy to say.
Well,
that.
since the reorganization with Terry Henley and Rasha and our now deputy city manager, Duke Sori, we did a complete 180 in a lot of regards, and the CRA is doing very, very well. It's doing so well that guess what? We got an extension.
Yes.
So that's always
more work.
as they say. There was an old saying about proof of the pudding.
Yeah.
And the proof of the pudding is that we're doing well enough that we got an extension despite some of the misgivings of prior years. So congratulations and thank you, gentlemen, very much.
Oh, no, again,
Appreciate
thank you to the staff. They're great and they're very attentive. So we do appreciate the staff and appreciate you all for allowing us to continue to serve you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
And the part 2 of this presentation is our annual report. This is just a basic hard copy. It's at the printers, so you will have better, fancier brochures. But as it's required by state statute that we have our annual report published, posted, and printed by March 31st. We had posted in the Miami Herald this weekend. There are copies available at the city clerk. It's on our website. This shows our past activities for fiscal year 16-17. What we've accomplished, who we are, and also it incorporates the financial statements that the gentleman was talking about. I'd like to thank Ms. Gail McDonald for the reorganization of the layout and so on. And whenever you get a chance, please look at it and see. We've actually made sure that we're able to showcase the facts, what it is that we're doing, eye-catching. Because this is our marketing brochure. When people ask us, or a developer or somebody who's interested in coming here, they ask us, what have we done, what are we doing? This is the brochure. This is what we give to them. And it shows, for instance, I don't have my glasses, let me see. For commercial grants, again, we leveraged 58% of private funding, and we put in 42% CRA grants. So for a total project cost of $1.9 million that we did last year in commercial grants, 58% of that were private match. So that's very good that we're able to leverage private funding to come in addition to us giving out grants. So we're making sure that we're marketing ourselves better, and we're using the keywords and the key graphs that interest the developers and the investors. So that's phase 2 of agenda item number 1.
Okay.
Item number 2, if Chief Page can come. This is a program campaign that we're doing jointly. As you know, the CRA grant guidelines allow funding for security enhancements, security cameras, and so on and so forth. And Chief Page has been working on this project, and you ready?
I'm ready.
And he's going to, okay. So he's going to present to you this project that it's a collaboration between the city and the CRA. The CRA as the funding source, the city meaning the North Miami Police Department. And I think it's wonderful. It's a great campaign.
Do I get one?
If you want one. Good evening. Thank you for having us. And we have previewed, alluded to, discussed, brought up the Community Connect project several times at the meeting before. And real quick, this kind of gives a little bit of an overview of how the project would work. Basically, surveillance cameras that are private cameras at businesses would connect over the internet to the police department, and the police department can monitor the cameras. So you ask, why would we want to do this, or why would somebody be interested in doing this? And the key is public safety and security is everybody's responsibility. And Community Connect allows businesses and the police department to efficiently collaborate to improve public safety and make North Miami a great place to live, work, and play. Community Connect makes it possible to share HD quality video directly with the police department. It allows us to access HD quality video in real time, improve situational awareness, and help solve crimes. It becomes a force multiplier and builds partnerships with local communities. This is how it actually works. If you look at the diagram on the right side, and I'll read the bullet points on the left side. So Community Connect allows both real-time and archived video to be shared from surveillance cameras at local businesses with the police department. You can see on the screen, and right here, these are different businesses that would have Community Connect. They come into a product called Stratacast, which then would link it to the police department. It also allows the business owner to view it over a web app or on portable devices for their businesses. The police department would be able to view all 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 businesses, however, come into the Stratacast product. So the police department can monitor the video, which we call a virtual patrol, from time to time. So that'll allow us to flip the cameras on at random times, at different times. We can see if people are loitering, if people are gathering at night. So periodically we would turn the cameras on. It wouldn't be a 24/7 monitoring from the police department. It would be a random virtual patrol of the businesses, and it will allow us now to enhance our patrol out on the streets. The police department can also use the camera feed for real-time situational awareness while officers are responding to calls at businesses or in the area of the business. So if we get a call, and it's a call of a fight, of a robbery, of a burglary, we'd be able to see what is going on as our officers are arriving. So if we get a call of a fight, do we know if it's one person fighting, or is it 50 people fighting on the street? Is the crime still going on? Is a robbery still occurring? Or is it something now that's gone and it's just an empty street corner? The other thing it'll allow us to do, the final bullet point, is archived video can provide the police department with immediate description of a subject or subjects, allowing responding officers to identify and locate them while they're still in the area. So what happens a lot of times, and I can use a cellular phone store on Northwest 7th Ave as an example, we get there, item gets snatched from the counter, the person runs off, the employee working the business generally doesn't have access to the DVR. So sometimes it's a day, sometimes it's 2 days, sometimes it's 3 days for the proper person in management to come in, get us the video feed or the portion of the video we need. We make a flyer, we try to circulate the flyer to identify the subject that stole the item. With this type of system, we'd be able to pull up that archived video while our officer was on the scene, possibly print out a flyer if we needed to, email out the photo to the other officers in the area. So there's a much greater likelihood of catching the subject if we have a picture of him within the first few minutes of the crime. He may be at the bus stop, he may be in the alleyway, he may be down at Burger King. So the quicker we can get the flyer of the subject, the sooner we can make the identification, and hopefully the sooner we can clear the crime. So how does a business join North Miami Connect? There's several ways which you can come into the program. Probably the easiest way by far, and the first business that has Smart Office has actually signed the MOU with us. It's Tommy's Shoes, Mr. Reynolds, in your plaza right there. She signed the MOU. We are hoping to have them up and running so we can show a demo by tonight with the Easter holiday and some other stuff. And since this is our first camera that we're bringing into our system, there's a little bit more work that had to be done internally with the IT connections between all the parties involved. But hopefully by the actual CRA meeting, we'll have the first live one up and running. But it's in the pipeline to get the first one up and running. So if you're a Comcast Smart Office customer, there's no additional cost. You can tell Comcast, I'd like to share my cameras with the North Miami Police Department, and through the magic of the internet, we would have access to your cameras.
What does Smart Office mean?
It's a product that Comcast sells. The Smart Office is basically business internet, business phone, business, a package that
It's a
Comcast
package.
sells.
It's their combo
So if you have
package.
the Smart Office package, it comes with cameras and at no additional cost. It's already included in your Smart Office package that you can then, they call it federation. You can federate those cameras back to the police department. So if you're a Comcast Smart Office customer, you can do this right now if you wanted to. In addition, you can contract with Comcast for security camera services. You'd have to contact Comcast for the cost to see what that cost would be if you don't have the smart office. In addition, you can install a Gentech compliant security camera and subscribe to Stratacast. And it also requires an internet connection. If you store the video on the edge, and the edge is a technical term they use, it's an SD card. So if you have an SD card in your camera, and with the new high quality HD SD cards, you can store several days of video right on the camera without an actual DVR. So that's $6.95 a month per camera. So if you didn't have Comcast Smart Office, you don't want to go to Comcast for cameras, if you want to buy your own camera and you have an internet connection and power, it'd be $6.95 if it's stored on the SD card at the camera site. And if you want to store it in the cloud, if you don't want to mess with an SD card, if you want to have cloud storage, it'd be $17.95 per camera. The other, yes, sir.
Do they,
That's the
does Genetics, does Stratacast, do they come out and do the installation?
You can go to anybody you want, but it has to be a Gentech compliant camera. So Gentech is basically one of the largest players in the video field.
Yeah.
So if you bought your camera and you got it installed by anybody, if you said, hey, is this camera a Gentech compatible camera? It's almost like if you buy something for your computer and you look at it, say it's a Microsoft Office compliant program, I can run it on my Windows PC at home. The same thing, as long as your camera was a Gentech compliant camera, you could go into Stratacast, which is a Gentech product, which would allow you to come back to the station into our security center.
But Stratacast does not come out and do the installation?
No,
No.
Stratacast is
They're
just a product. It's
It's
a,
a product.
They're just someone you connect to?
correct.
Okay.
So you can call
Correct.
like 50 Stage Technologies,
If you came back to right here,
anybody. It just
You would
has
have
to
a
be
Gentech
HD
compliant camera
quality.
You get someone else to do it?
that
Yeah.
would come into Stratacast, and then Stratacast would connect it back to the police department. Comcast, if you're a smart office, or if you go to Comcast, Comcast has now pushed out business cameras that they'll put up. And I want to say Comcast, it was charging, I don't know if it's still the price. It was a $200 installation, $29 for your first camera, $19 for your each additional camera, if you wanted to go through Comcast without smart office. But you'd have to contact Comcast to find out what their current pricing is. The final option that you'd have is if you already had an existing security camera system, and you wanted to now bring some of your cameras, all of your cameras, a few of your cameras in, you can actually get a network security device from Gentech. You can contact a Gentech vendor, and if you go online, they have a list of a lot of local vendors. You'd get a Gentech vendor. You tell them, I want to install a network security device. It basically sits on top of your existing DVR security camera system, and it then feeds into your existing system and pushes out the feed back out to us. That is probably the most complex and probably the most expensive way to do it. But if you had a large installation, you already had 20, 30, 40 cameras at your business, and now you wanted to bring a few cameras into the police department and not install new additional cameras or go through Comcast, you could retrofit your existing cameras to work with our product. So those would be the 4 ways you could bring your video into our security center. Our security center, and I don't have a picture of it, would basically be a map of North Miami. Our dispatch could draw a box around the area where the call was at, and any cameras that were in our system would pop up, and the dispatcher or the officers could pull up those cameras. And I think I skipped over it when I was reading the stuff. One thing that you get with your product is that, or it's actually right here. What does a business get for joining North Miami Connect? The ability to share with the police department, but the key thing is you control your system because it's a public-private partnership. We don't control your cameras. You allow us to share the video feed, but at any time, if you wanted to stop that video feed or stop the sharing, you would have the ability to stop sharing the cameras with us. You would just log in, change the setting, and then you could stop sharing with us if you didn't want to share with the police department anywhere. It increases shopper safety. It allows you to monitor your business in HD from anywhere. For smaller businesses that may not have the ability to have an elaborate security system, like Tommy Shoes has the one camera, and it faces basically out their front window into the parking lot, so we can see the parking lot from their camera. So now, since they are a Comcast Smart Business customer, and they're also in here, they would be able to log in on a website through a mobile app, and they could also view their cameras, just like we could view their cameras. So it really helps out the smaller business in getting into the security camera and realm.
Did they take the smart business package?
They were in the smart business, yes. They were smart office,
Okay.
and that's how we got referred to them, because they said, hey, we just had a new customer enroll in smart office, They're right here in North Miami on 125th Street. Would you be interested in speaking with them? We went by and spoke with them. We gave them the MOU. They read through the MOU, and the lady at the business signed the MOU.
And we're working on the new logo, the NOMI
Correct.
Connect, and what we saw in best practices, we saw it in Detroit, where they have these decals for the businesses that are signed up. It says, you know, we are a member of the NOMI Connect, or I forgot what it was for Detroit, but they were able to show, you know, the patrons that this is a safer place and people can come and shop
In
with.
Detroit, it's called Project Greenlight. If you
Okay,
Google
yeah.
Project Greenlight, you'll see everything that comes up on Project Greenlight. I think I talked to you about it before, Clark, was Project Greenlight. And they do give little decals, and I've spoken with Rasha, we would get decals for the businesses. And that's why on the presentation, it talked about attracting new businesses. In Detroit, they had done a marketing study, which showed people that had signed up for Project Greenlight, put the decal on their business, and were on the website, saw an increase in sales. Because in Detroit, they had a lot more issues than we have here in North Miami. And people actually went to businesses that were in Project Greenlight because they felt safer by going there, knowing that, one, the police may be monitoring the cameras, and two, if something happened there, the police would, one, have access to the video feed in real time, and two, would be able to pull up the archived video, and the cases were solved quicker and faster at the businesses that were Project Greenlight businesses. So anybody that's interested in coming to it, they can contact myself or Rasha, and we would provide them whatever information. We are working on the logo to properly brand it, but we wanted to kick it off here at the CRA Advisory Board and at the actual CRA meeting before we actually kicked it off to the public. And we wanted to bring in one or two businesses first as a pilot, and we have Tommy Shoes. And if there was another business that wanted to come in to also help us pilot it, so when we really do brand it, market it, advertise it, and push it, everything runs flawlessly. And we think it will be a game-changing program for the police department and for the city of North Miami.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Chief.
No problem.
Anybody have any additional questions, Chief?
I just have a comment. This is just great.
Oh, no, it's
Yeah,
fabulous.
it's
yeah.
fantastic. I would just say, as you roll it out, if people want, lots of times, for something like this that's new, they want a phone number to call. They wanna talk to someone. What does this mean? What are you talking about?
They would call me. That's why
Call
the
you?
final slide, they cut it
Yeah,
off, it had my
it
contact.
It has his
a lot of
contact
Yeah, so
information and
they
everything.
would call me. I mean, if it gets
Okay.
out of hand and we get millions of people calling, then we'll do something else. But if they trickle in 5, 10 at a
Yeah.
time, we'll be able to handle it.
Okay.
So when we meet with applicants, right, when Gail meets with applicants about the eligible uses and the improvements they wanna do on the property, so instead of just saying we do security enhancements as part of the grant, now we have the NOMI Connect program, which is, you know, it's just a fancier name of saying that we do security enhancements. So we prepare them, and once they're submitting their application, we link them with Chief Page, and it goes from there. So we're just, you know, marketing and making it, better for our applicants and the community to see that we are a safer, better place to be at.
I think it's, once we get it a little further along, we could get, we should do some PR.
I
Mm-hmm.
know.
I know, you know that,
I
right?
know.
I mean, it's like, it's one
Yeah.
of the biggest issues
So-
when all the surveys come back, is that North Miami is so dangerous.
Yeah,
So
so
it's
the
the
second
perfect
part of
thing.
the presentation, the branding part is, you know, this is my whole point of my turn to present. And it's so funny because PR and branding and marketing.
Thank you, Chief.
Is not my strong suit. So, all right, Duna. Yeah, I need the audio. Oh, okay.
Robert, the businesses like 7-Eleven and that are part of a corporate thing, is that gonna be
We can try. They're a little bit harder sometimes. 'Cause they have to
Yeah.
go through like regular rules. We'll try.
So I am, let me see. So leading us to agenda item number 3, and I was told by Ms. Geimer, I need to keep it short because there's a game or something.
Almost on my basketball game.
There's a basketball game coming up.
It's the
She's not gonna
NCAA
miss.
Finals.
As you recall, in the last budget cycle, we approved doing a whole branding and marketing campaign for the downtown and so on and so forth. I've been working with RMA, the consultants that worked on the branding and the marketing of, you know, the new logo and so on and so forth. So I'm gonna give you an update on what we've been doing, and also, I just wanna make sure, these are rough drafts, we're almost done. And once we're done, again, the big question I've been asked is like, you know, the PR, the social media, why aren't we advertising it, and so on and so forth. And we're gonna be working on that as well. All right, so first off, there you go.
I have a question. Since Alaska Coffee Company already participated with the CRA, do they automatically get this connect?
Well, if they have security cameras, yes, but if it wasn't part of the request that they made,
Okay.
then no, they would have to go out of pocket for it. It's when you're applying for the grant that you list that that's one of the enhancements you'd like to do.
I'm just curious. I don't
Yeah.
think anybody thinks it's not safe there, but
Well,
I'm just
no.
curious.
Okay.
Yeah, right over, right over here.
Right over here, between, 9th and 10th.
Oh,
Yeah, on the north side of the street, you know, they had the fire.
yeah, right, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I heard they were open, I was like, good.
They did it fast.
It really did, yeah.
They did. All right, so this is the update, provided by RMA and myself. Can you? Yeah. I'm not techie like you guys. I'm sorry. Yay, thank you. Yay, 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 yay. So again, when we met over a year ago after the CRA plan was approved, we focused on the branding and marketing of the downtown. And this is the vision that we saw for the downtown. The vision for downtown Nomi is to be known as a place where you will enjoy a rich, diverse cultural experience with live music, great food, stunning art, and unique shopping. Since then, we've been implementing the key items that were in the strategic marketing plan. And as you recall, we did win an award from the Florida Redevelopment Association for this marketing plan. So we have the new logo, the tagline, we created the brand standards, the stationery. So this is our logo and our tagline, Downtown Nomi, to know me is to love me. This is our brand standards. So now anybody who uses our logo, they have to use the approved logo, the colors, they can't stretch it. Even if we're doing something with the city of North Miami, they have to actually follow our brand standards to make sure that we are getting full billing for our investment. Again, the stationery, and so on. So after that, we had to work on the branding campaign. We hired a photographer, a videographer, a website developer. We took approximately 500 pictures of downtown Nomi, businesses, events, some parks, some areas around the downtown area, so we can have enough collateral materials to prepare for the website, the walker's guide, everything that we're going to be promoting. A total of 52 banners were designed based on the pictures, and they're going to be along 125th Street from 5th Avenue to 14th Avenue by the train tracks, because remember we have a couple of breweries moving in there, along West Dixie and 6th Avenue. So again, for the downtown, what we call the downtown corridor is around the 5 Points intersection, back all the way down to the train tracks and the surrounding streets. Okay, so we're working now on the pricing to get the pole banners printed, and we're going to have them installed hopefully by the end of April, actually not mid-April. These are the pole banners. So as you recall, when we did the presentation, we have key taglines. You know, not only is to know me is to love me, but we're tasteful, we're rhythmic, we're eccentric, we're artistic. These are all actual businesses that are, except Chef Dominique, and you know, Mike is working with me diligently to get him into our downtown, but he's, as you know, further down by the Biscayne, but he provides us wonderful food and services to the city, so it feels like he's here already every day. However, Descarga Brewery, as you recall, he's one of our grantees. Then you see we have the food, so people can see what it is that we do. These pictures are taken from musicians from various events, Jazz at Mocha, the Mardi Gras, and whatever other events that we had at the time. These are actual business owners and artists, and another person, the young lady at the end was one of the ladies from the Mardi Gras. Again, artists. So this is to tell people who we are and what we're trying to promote of ourselves about the downtown area. These are advertising templates, so from now on, whenever we advertise in the paper, a magazine, anywhere, even a bus shelter, these are the templates that we're going to be using depending on what it is that we're promoting. We're promoting a band, an activity, we're promoting an event at MoCA. We are gonna be using these templates. So people, when they see it, they know we're talking about downtown North Miami, downtown Nomi. We have these walker guides that we've done. We're actually printing them now. It's about 10,000 copies. And this is the outside of it, and it'll be folded. So these are all the businesses that we've identified in our downtown corridor. And I want to mention something. Some of them are not even licensed. They don't have their CUs and BTRs, but because they were physically there, we still had to list them, because you don't want somebody walking by and they miss a stop or they miss it. It will be our responsibility when this is done to work with the city's code department and the city clerk's office to make sure these people get their licenses. Some of them have been, I have to be realistic. Some of them have been there for a few years and they haven't updated or renewed their BTRs or CUs, which is, it's so funny. On a side note, I was mentioning to the manager, when you're applying for a CRA grant, you do have to have your CU and your BTR. As a result, we've helped several businesses get their paperwork in order, and also property owners, because several property owners did not know that if they own a strip of retail, they have to have a BTR. Not only do they have tenants, so we're actually helping the city get additional revenue, because as we're preparing, we're helping them apply for a grant, we're helping them legalize. But for now, we're talking about the Walker's Guide. So the Walker's Guide will have every single existing business. We already changed Maggie's Shoes to the new address. We put in the new Nomi Bar and Grill already. So we've made all the pertinent changes that we knew were coming. But right now, it's at the print shop, and it's gonna take a couple of weeks. But we will have 10,000 beautiful Walker's Guide for people to have, and we're gonna have them distributed at the hotels, at shops, and for people who are interested in shopping and visiting the downtown area. Also, what we have now are the NOMI CRA grant recipient. It's a sticker. It's not that big, by the way. It's very small. It's like a Better Business Bureau sticker. So we're gonna give them now to all our grantees. Once they successfully finish the renovations, and they're either opened or they had a grand reopening, they will have the sticker. So you will know this is a CRA grant recipient, this is, our investment that's there. All right, now I'm gonna show you the website, and hopefully it'll be done by April 30th, but I'm still working on a lot of the details to get it done. So now I'm focusing on the second part, which is glasses. All right. You got it, Dunya? All right. This is the current old CRA website. Yes, young man, that's the logo that's on there. I apologize, but I did send the new one. Okay. So this is our website right now. We've had this like this for years. It is unappealing. It doesn't tell you anything. It does tell you we're a government agency and that we have grants to offer, but that's the extent of it. It doesn't do anything. It's not appealing at all. This is the almost done CRA website. Okay? Don't be blinded by the boat. It's just a placeholder. All the pictures that we took of all the businesses, it's going to be right there, flipping through like a windmill. So here. No.
No, it's just a placeholder.
Stay focused. Well, you see, I got you, right? Now you're looking at it, you're loving the colors, and you're paying attention to us. So under About, you'll have all the stuff that you saw on the original website, who we are, our mission statement, the team, the maps, our annual report. So I'm gonna show you. Everywhere you see, by the way, our logo, it's because they haven't uploaded the pictures yet. So we're still uploading not only the pictures from the photographer, but all the pictures from our grantees, the before and after pictures, the videos, everything that we've been doing for the past couple of years, we're still uploading them. So I just wanted to show you this. So now our annual report, this is last year's annual report. You can see, like anybody can look at it. It's very appealing to a developer, an investor, easy to read. You're not scrolling up and down. Okay. Now, we're open for business. This is where we are. Business opportunities. If you're interested in grants, if you're interested in knowing what is our zoning, what are we doing, it's all gonna be here. Again, you're gonna imagine having the pictures and the cover of whatever magazine that it belongs to, as opposed to North Miami CRA screenshot right now. All right? So anything that we're working on, the business passport that we did with the city, all the reports that we're doing, the housing initiatives, all the grant guidelines that we're doing, it's all here. If you're interested in applying for a grant, it's all here. Now, as a business and as a visitor, you want to know what's going on. What are the demographics? What's going on with downtown Nomi? The happy hour, the late night. What can I do to come to shop? Again, imagine pictures of the businesses, but again, it's about what's going on, what's happening. Now, another wonderful feature of this new website is it's all about the businesses. Remember I talked about those businesses that don't have licenses and so on? So we're gonna have them listed as part of, they exist, but they're not licensed. So where it says local business spotlight, every single business that is actually in the city of North Miami will be listed. So if you're looking for a directory, you wanna do a search under categories for locations in North Miami, you will be able to access it. So you can access, Anthony Coal-Fired Pizza, because you can put it there and it's there, they're licensed. Now, if the business is in the CRA, the added benefit that you have is, let's say you're Luna Star Cafe. Luna Star Cafe can actually not log in, but she's gonna be able to send us, if she's having a special, she's having a happy hour special, or she has a new band performing. She's gonna be able to put that in there, and it prompts us, it tells us one of our businesses has something to promote. And it's gonna pop up on our website as a local business spotlight for people who are interested. And it's also gonna be on our social media pages, the Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, that I don't know anything about at all. But I will have a person with that expertise by that time. So they will be able to prompt, what's going on, what's happening, and it'll go to anybody who subscribes to us, anybody who's on our website, because it's also it's a mobile friendly. So this is, okay, I'm almost done with the website. So we talked about Explore, Newsworthy, this is where we're gonna have our monthly newsletters, talking about business opportunities, projects, showcasing businesses, photo gallery, awards and recognition. I don't intend to just have one award like we did last year, we're gonna have a little bit more. This is partnership with the City of North Miami, Greater North Miami Chamber of Commerce, Miami-Dade County, State of Florida. There is gonna be also MoCA there, although we don't consider them as a partner, but they are part of us. So everything that happens on their website will also prompt and pop up on our main website as well. So this is, like I said, apart from the beautiful Caribbean vacation that you see there, this is what the new website is gonna look like. And lastly, we're pretty much done with it. We did a 1-minute lifestyle video of the downtown for people to see who we are, what we're doing, and so on. I know when I showed it, I think I showed it to the mayor, and he's like, well, the plaza's not done yet. I'm like, when it's done, we'll update the video, but right now, we need to market us. We need to tell people what we're doing. So I'm gonna show you 2 videos. They're very similar to each other, but the final product, once it's done, because they were not done interviewing, they interviewed 2 more businesses for me, and they also went to that function on Thursday, Mike, at the Nomi Bar and Grill. So now they're cleaning it up. So this is video number 1.
Audio Jungle.
The people and the culture that's becoming North Miami. And I'm hoping that more and more people get to know the area, get to experience the shops, the galleries, the amazing restaurants.
It is becoming one of the most vibrant art and design districts of all of Miami and South Florida.
they love the restaurant. It's very easy to access from the beach, from the north at Ventura, or even from Biscayne Park and Miami Shores as well.
Welcome to Art Marché, North Miami's curated fashion consignment boutique for women and men. I love the people and the culture that's becoming North Miami.
It is becoming one of the most vibrant art and design districts of all of Miami.
Very homey, and they love the restaurant. It's very easy to access.
The music for the second one that you just heard, the group, we felt that was a little bit better than the jazzier, faster one. But we are using mainly the first video that you saw. And like I said, we're adding some more interviews that we did of other businesses. And also the Nomi Bar and Grill had a preview, kind of mini grand opening, so we have some snippets of that as well. Since we're going to open up on Monday in the video. So this is the video we're going to use to advertise, downtown Nomi. It's going to be on our Facebook page. It's going to be on our website. And it is, again, to market and brand downtown Nomi as a place to come and experience diverse cultures, food, and music. So any comments and questions?
Oh, very nice.
That was very nice.
Yeah?
Very nice.
Where was the happy hour, Bob? What was that at?
Cafe Creme. Cafe Creme.
Right next door.
Yeah, right next door.
over
They
here.
have a happy hour bar. And it's so funny because the website...
They're doing happy hour?
Yeah, they've been doing happy hour, but it's so funny because the lady, yeah, the website developer was asking me about for late nights. So she said, "How many do you have in the downtown?" I'm like, "Well, we have Luna Star, but people they don't know that Luna Star right across the street, Cafe Creme, Nomi Bar and Grill, and Billy's Pub. So that makes you 4 places that you could actually go
It's brand new, it's
and
right next door.
patronize in our downtown. And again, as new businesses, let's say when Chef Creole is done updating his place on West Dixie, he could be considered a late night place. Then he will be able to log in and put himself in as this is another late night stop for people to come and patronize.
In Pinecrest.
So yeah, Pinecrest Bakery, we're going to put them as well, but they're kind of
Out there.
out there. They're on Biscayne and 135th Street.
By the way, for those of you who didn't come, the Nomi Bar and Grill is where Mocha Cafe used to be. And it's going to be basically a soul food restaurant.
It's a soul food jazz cafe.
A soul food jazz cafe. They're going to have
They
great
had a good
jazz at
jazz
night.
music.
They're gonna
Yeah.
have great soul food, and they had an opening, soft opening, as they say, the other night.
Yeah.
It was really nice.
It was mainly a preview because they were getting a lot of questions and people stopping by asking what's going on and so
Yeah,
on.
but it looks like it's another transplant
Yes.
from another place.
Well, it's actually, what would you call it? It's a,
The
it's a
second
mix
Second
of
location,
three
yeah.
people's ideas and from another business.
Yeah, so it looks
They
like it's gonna
merged.
be very successful.
It is, it is. They've been getting a lot of requests.
Yeah.
So we're very excited.
I'd like to add a comment about that too. I think that, people were disappointed in the way the Mocha Cafe, it didn't really turn out as well as we thought it might.
Mhm.
They spent a lot of money on our grant, plus their own money on the renovations.
Mhm.
But these people never would have taken place if it were not in the condition it was in.
Right.
So, you could say maybe the first business wasn't exactly what you wanted, but maybe what we've got now is what we really want, and it's the second one. But the dollars we spent,
Well, those
the
were,
reason they are there now.
well, that was an investment for the future.
Yeah.
That was,
Be-
well, I didn't think it looked like it at the moment.
Well, I think, because, well, we discussed it at the time, in that some of the renovations that they were doing, particularly the second half, Clark, was really, we knew that no matter.
They built a beautiful
Right.
space that
Right.
when they vacated, it was very obvious to other people.
Because they spent a
that it was
lot of
great
their
has
own
good
space.
personal
bones.
money.
Yeah.
Besides the CRA, they spent a lot of their own personal money on renovating, so it was an investment for the future, and it looks like this one's gonna be the thing that connects, it looks like.
And we are getting, lower the volume so you won't get any.
And by the way, these people have not asked for a grant.
Right, I know.
It's so funny because people assume, a lot of people assume, yeah, they got a CRA grant. Not yet, they haven't applied.
Yeah.
Everything came out of, they're doing it
Right.
themselves.
They didn't have they had
The
work to
kitchen.
do. They did not have to knock down walls
Right.
or change plumbing or change the electric. So
Um,
those are your big
major-
issues. So,
Right.
everything was cosmetic to some degree. Changing all the equipment in the kitchen was expensive.
Yeah,
But,
Yeah. So,
It was good.
But they didn't have to knock down a wall to accommodate some sort of oven or something.
right.
It was all ready to go. They could just they could fit the new equipment in.
Yeah.
So,
Well, we have a great combo between that and Cafe Creme.
yeah, and I was mentioning to Clark earlier, I am getting requests from other places. Their lease are gonna expire in December, January, places in the design district in Wynwood. Now I need to find actual space for them.
Right.
And that's our biggest challenge at this point, finding
Okay.
space that are available, that meets their requirements and so on. And then the
Okay.
last thing I'd like to mention about the branding and so on, one of the suggestions from RMA is for us to do the unveiling of the pole banners at the Jazz at Mocha event in April, right? Last Friday of the month, we're always guaranteed to have something, and just, do a little unveiling, not a big event or something, but just tie it to it so we can at least showcase it and
Right.
people can see what we're doing. So
Okay.
I'll be letting you know where we are on that.
Okay, any communications from the CRA attorney? Anything to report?
No, nothing at all, and actually he sent his apologies because he was in court all day.
Okay.
Apparently, and he just
That's
got
not
released
easy.
and he wasn't gonna make it in time. In terms
Okay,
of-
you wanna move quickly through the
Yes,
apparel
textile
yes.
sourcing trade show. This is as a result of a relationship that we created with this group, Apparel Textile Sourcing. They're one of the largest trade shows, predominantly Chinese members. We met over a year ago and we started the whole Chinatown project, and they flew in.
Chase, right?
Yeah, and so they would do their trade shows in China, Canada, and in the West Coast, Los Angeles. Now, South Florida is the new place for Chinese investment. Not only because of, what we've been talking about, pushing for Chinatown and so on and so forth, but Ambassador Lee was here a few months ago and he was talking about they were gonna have a direct flight from China, Shanghai, Atlanta now. And they see the investment in the southern states, and definitely Miami is the key place. So anyway, Jason and his group relocated from the West Coast into Miami. And we've been talking and so on. So they actually booked Mana Wynwood for their first major trade shows. I think at the time when they were preparing, the Miami Beach Convention Center was not, anywhere near or anything, so they had to go with Mana Wynwood. It's a huge, huge trade show. Not only is it for their Chinese members, and they have about like over 3,300 members, but it's a worldwide thing. So he's been traveling. He has representatives from most countries in Latin America and the Caribbean. And of course, we are a partner, meaning the city of North Miami. We are a partner because of what we're trying to build here for Northwest 7th Avenue. These are investors and actual businesses that are looking for space to have for their textile trade. And Northwest 7th Avenue is part of the free trade zone. I think I said it right? Yeah. And they're very interested in that. So first part is Tuesday, April 10th at 2 p.m. They're doing a huge press conference at Mana Wynwood to announce the trade show and the partnerships and so on and so forth. I will be there with, I'm hoping Councilman Desulme, he's traveling right now, so I have to confirm with him, but most likely the city manager.
What's that date, Marcia?
Tuesday, April 10th at 2 p.m.
I said we would then.
Mana Wynwood, yeah. So and then I gotta come back here for the CRA board meeting. So, Chief, where's the other chief? I got some speeding ticket, you're gonna have to. And then the actual trade show is May 21st to May 23rd. They are giving us, again, a huge component to it. We will have our own booth. We're going to be showcasing the Chinatown. They're hosting a VIP reception also for their members to meet with us and so on and so forth. They also developed a relationship with the city of Miami, since Mana Wynwood is in the city of Miami and so on and so forth. But because we are the only ones with the Chinatown master plan, we get dibs. So it is also open to the public. I will let you know so you can attend. One thing that was very interesting, as Jason recommended, is they have one part where they have a Made in America booth that they're doing. So if there are any textile merchants locally that we know of, for them to participate, to be in the booth. Sam and I have been focusing on in the industrial areas to find any businesses that we know of. And he says there are a few that are within the CRA or the city of North Miami proper, so we can have them there and have them showcase their businesses. This is where they do, it's not just fabric, it's leather. That's where Calvin Klein and all these people come through and see what's out there, and they can do their wheeling and dealing. So I think it's a great opportunity for us. Also, on the May 21st, we will be doing several tours for them, like we did before. So we're working on all of those things. So I just wanted to let you know, April 10th, again, and also May 21st to the 23rd is the actual trade show at Mana Wynwood. So, any questions? And I already presented on the annual report.
Right.
So.
Okay, moving on, is there any old business to come before us? Any new business?
Just a couple of questions. We
Sure.
have a couple of reports that are due. One is on the transit, for the net due shortly.
A
The
report?
transit study for the station.
from FIU.
And the other one was I
Two
thought we
different
were
people.
supposed to have a report due on affordable housing.
So the IBI group, we're working on our first community workshop. It'll be towards the end of April.
The first one,
Community workshop. Yeah, we have to have a couple of community workshops to get the input and so on and so forth.
that's on the transit.
Yeah,
Okay.
on the mobility hub is what we're calling it.
You call it
Mobility hub.
mobility?
Yeah, so it's not just the train station, we're talking about the traffic, the public ride sharing, the bicycles, and all that other stuff. So it's called a mobility hub. But yes, you will, as soon as we're done, one of the things was, Nixon was working on that. He was the person in Tanya's office who was the partner, and then now they have a new person, so she's playing catch up, and she's the one that's working on the technical aspect.
Debbie Love.
Debbie Love.
Debbie Love.
Debbie's working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm
So she's
sorry.
working with IBI Group on the technical stuff. We're also gonna have a website like we did the last time, the flyers and so on. So we're supposed to have 2 community workshops, one coming up in the, towards the end of April. And of course, it'll be advertised and so on and so forth. And then the final one will probably be like in June. And then from there, you will have your final report. The agreement that we made with them was that I needed to be done before the September 30th fiscal year, so we can have it and we can have a proper plan. For the FIU, it is unfortunately in legal. I got a response from the FIU attorney on Friday, and they want us to do certain things in the contract, and our attorney's not. Mainly, the FIU attorney is like, it's their product, they're just letting us use it, and Stephen is like, nope, we're paying you for it, it's ours. So, for the FIU affordable housing study,
Yeah.
it's in with legal. Like the
They're-
lawyers
they're having
That's what
legal
we
issues.
had here. So what are they
Yeah.
saying?
So the FIU attorney says any product that they do produce is theirs, they're just letting us use it.
Well, I'll tell you.
And Steven Zukowitz, our attorney's like, no, we're hiring you to do something, it's our product.
Exactly. Well-
So this is where we are now, and I gave him direction to just reach out to the attorney directly and resolve it by this
They
week.
wanna do it at
but-
50% of the rate.
Yeah. But I think a lot of universities do that,
It's kind of
they just have
interesting
to,
with
we just have to
FIU.
give them some pushback.
You know, the
No?
halls of academia
It's a,
teach you how to speak.
Yes, it's contract, yeah.
no, but what I'm saying is, it's not the first time I've heard that FIU has like said, I read somewhere where there was a study that they were doing and they were like, no, we're giving you permission to use this, but it's our product. I read about it where they do that often. Yeah, exactly. So that's where we are.
What I see is FIU and their morality is. No,
Okay.
let's call it what it is.
Okay.
They screwed us on 135th Street. They tried to screw the youth fair out there, plain English. I'm not gonna polish it up. You know, they've been going on and on and on, you know.
It's become a development
Well,
company.
that's, and, you know,
Yeah.
and here, this is really a great institution for learning and teaching you about morality and decency. But we're gonna go to the back door. This is what you really gotta learn, students. We're gonna go in the back door and we're gonna screw these people here. But they don't, you know, we put on this facade. It's a lot of crap.
Uh-oh.
I don't like it too bad. That's the way
Huh?
I feel about it. What I gotta do? Take my pen? I gotta do it.
Yeah.
Okay,
All right, so that's
Okay.
where we are now. So as soon as Steven gives us, like agrees on this issue, then we can move on. And just for the record, he says that all the changes you can agree on. The statement is, Holly, it says, what they changed, it says that FIU owns the documents and gives the CRA a license to use the documents. From my perspective, the CRA is paying for the documents and should own them.
exactly.
That's where we are.
Are you on, can anybody hear, what happened? We lost
your
a
mic on?
microphone somewhere here.
I guess, I don't know, it's a mic.
Is yours
So-
on?
I don't know.
Oh, this is your mic?
Now
Oh,
it's
turn your
on.
mic on.
Okay. If they were creating a site for
Turn it on so
you,
Kenny talks.
then there's an
Because you don't have
argument
one.
that they may actually own it unless you contract differently. But once you pay them for something, to do something for you, they really have no right to be able to tell you that they are allowing you to use it. Because then they could sell it to a third party.
Yeah.
So
Alright,
no.
Yeah, so as soon as they duke it out, then we hope to our favor, we can start and we hope to have a report to you. All right?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Old business.
Yeah.
So last time, there was an item that we tabled, and then I noticed that it went to the board and it went through. I kind of don't like that. If we're an advisory board, and I understand, I think I heard that they tried to come in and the doors were locked, but I think that if we're advising, that we should always be able to hear the item first and then present to the board. Other than that, what's the point?
Which item was it, do you remember?
Mr. Willingham for the impact windows.
Right, so no-
Request. So I wasn't there,
Right.
just full disclosure, I wasn't here. But, he did come and Stephen said, as long as we explain to the CRA board what happened, they can make a decision to move it along or not. Mr. Willingham was here and I checked with Officer Jantit. The doors were locked downstairs, he couldn't get in. When Officer Jantit called, they unlocked it. It was the cleaning crew who had locked the doors or something. But the point is, when he came in, it was already too late. You guys had already tabled it. And Steven says, once it's tabled, you moved on.
Right.
He did state that he did speak to one of the members, I guess afterwards and stuff, and, you know, he got some assurances that it wasn't, you know, earth-shattering. Mr. Willingham did show up at the CRA board meeting, and after talking to him, and I explained to him, again, Stephen explained to the board that, you know, the CRA advisory committee provides advisory recommendations and so on and so forth. That this gentleman, through no fault of his own, he was here, but he was not able to attend, and it is the board's, I can't say
Ultimate
prerogative,
decision.
but they can say, and they didn't really have that much discussion on the item, and we're, you know, the gentleman was asking for impact windows indoors, but yes, that is what happened.
Okay.
So. Mhm. Uh-huh.
In your North Miami annual report, in the back, why is your picture not there?
I don't do pictures.
I
No,
just wanna know.
it's the executive director, the
Oh,
city
you're a
manager is the executive
director.
director, and the CRA board.
And it's a secretary. You should
Yeah, and
be
the
there.
city clerk.
Okay.
But thank you very much. Once I lose 50 pounds, you know, we can talk. But thank you so much.
Okay, being that there's no additional old or new business, do we have a motion to adjourn? On second? All in favor, say aye.
Yeah, you're being
Okay,
good.
thank you all very much.
So quiet. You're so quiet.